All right, what's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Just gonna do a quick Friday recap. What a choppy day it was. Had an aggressive push, an aggressive pullback, an aggressive push, an aggressive pullback, aggressive. I mean, just super aggressive price action, not super friendly. Okay, and you have to be able, as a trader, to sit back and realize that. Say, hey, you know what? If the price action doesn't meet my trade plan, I'm not going to place a trade. And if you don't have a trade plan, you have no business trading. And you have no business trading live money if you haven't built a trade plan and proven it profitable over time with a paper account. So if you had a tough time today, you need to now sit back and go, all right, did I follow my trade plan? Do I have a trade plan? Does that trade plan include a checklist? Have I proven it profitable over time in a paper simulated account? If you haven't checked all those boxes, you have no business placing a trade. None whatsoever. Not a single dollar of live money should ever be risked until you've done all those things I've just mentioned. Okay? And it's not just, oh, I did it for 2 weeks and I was profitable. No. You need to hammer out your trade plan through different market conditions, through different price action, through different events, right? It takes time. You go to college for 4 years to come out and get an entry-level job. Trading is not entry-level by any means. And if you're not willing to put the time and effort in, right, to get the paycheck, then don't expect it to come for free, because it's not going to. It's going to take some reading. It's going to take some education. It's going to take some guidance. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some personal development, right? Everything that you've been taught in your life how to be successful has nothing to do with trading. So now you need to rewire your adult brain into doing this very specific job, right? The way I've ran all the businesses I've owned my entire life is very different from the mindset that I need to have in order to be a successful, consistent, disciplined, profitable trader. Totally different, right? Anthony as a businessman stands here. Anthony as a trader stands here. Two different versions of myself. Took me a very long time to figure that out, okay? Because I need to rewire my brain to say, okay, I need to now think, rather than in certainties or right and wrong, in probabilities and how can I be profitable over time. And then strategize a very specific, very unique trade plan around that. And then I have to rewire my brain to follow that trade plan. And I did none of that with live money until I was able to take a paper account and double it, right? Using the position sizing I plan to use, trading the market I plan to trade. I mean, literally working through summertime trading, different times of the years, around the holidays. Like, I firmly believe that most people should paper trade while they're hammering out their trade plan for approximately a year. And if you're not willing to do that, then you're getting frustrated and you want to step away from trading because you didn't lay any foundation. You can't build a house, without a foundation. You can't trade without a foundation. It's really no different, right? Was the price action hard today? Yeah. For most people, they shouldn't have partaken in the market. But because they're sitting in front of the computer, they feel it's necessary to hit the buy or sell button, right? Now, did I have the most favorable trading experience today? Not really. All right? I'll show you exactly what I did. Early this morning, right at 7:35, I took a little short out of here, okay? I took some profit as we came into the prior lows. I was looking to take a little more profit towards 81 where there was some resting liquidity. I got jammed up. I should have closed my whole position. I didn't. I covered part of it, and then I got stopped out. So I made a little bit of money, and that was what it was. Then the market pushed back up, retested this level. We were struggling to get above it. I took a short here. I just literally moved my stop to break even, hoping that we weren't going to get jammed up. We got jammed up. I got stopped out of my entry. Okay, it is what it is, right? Now the market's trying to push, right? Not really giving me a super ideal place to get long. This area here is the prior day high, okay? We pull back up here, we test it, we hold it for a minute, and I was hesitant to try to get long here. So what happened? The market fell back, it continued to fall back. We entered back into this big mess of price action. Felt pretty confident here, was hesitant to get long above the VWAP, or below the VWAPs rather. Price did push up, it did pull back again, it did push up. As we pulled through here, I entered the market, and I started taking profit as soon as we pushed through these prior highs. Now I was targeting 81.80, we fell one tick short of it. So again, price fell back and I got stopped out. So I had one trade stop me out completely, and the other trades were butchered, right? Nothing followed through. It's okay. Did I have a super profitable day? No. Did I lose money? No. Am I frustrated? No. But like whatever, like it's okay. But the price action just didn't want to cooperate. And there are going to be days like that. The old me as a trader would have been forcing trades, trying to make them work. And I would have ended up taking significant losses. Right? I would have got stopped out. I would have got greedy. I would have got beat up. But the me today, as a developed trader doing this for quite a few years at this point, knows, hey, risk management, number one, right? So market starts moving in your way. You don't love the price action, but you feel confident you've either identified support or resistance. First thing you do is tighten the stop, because if the market's going to go, it's going to go. That's my trade plan. Yours might be different. So for me, numero uno, right, is to get the stop to break even. If the market blesses me with more, I will take it. If the market doesn't bless me with more, I didn't lose money, right? I lost a little commission. I try to bump my stop a tick or two in the profit. This way I cover the bid ask, I cover the commission fee, whatever. It is what it is. Okay? That's just the conservative way that I try to handle my own positions. Am I going to fight the market the rest of the day? No. Okay? When you go 2 or 3 trades that are just less than ideal, you get tired. Right? It's Friday. I'm done. I'm checking out for the weekend. Right? I got other stuff that I want to do. It's beautiful outside. Sitting here trying to fight the market for the next 3 or 4 hours. Next week's a new week. We'll see how next week goes. But every day is going to be different. But what has to be consistent is the way you approach the market. And so many traders are so quick to move to live money, get frustrated, and go, that's it, I'm done. That's it, I'm taking a break. That's it, this system doesn't work. You haven't done it long enough to know if it works or not, right? Hammering out a trade plan, practicing it, proving it profitable over time takes months. Not a few days, not a few weeks, it takes months, right? For some people, even longer than that. Why? Because that trade plan now you will create multiple approaches. Trading with the trend, taking a counter trend entry, identifying support and resistance, utilizing trend lines. All those things require very specific rules in your trade plan. Because if you don't have rules, you'll never create consistency. Without consistency, you'll never make any money. So to say I'm a few weeks in, I wasn't patient, I wasn't willing to trade on paper, I wasn't willing to write down a trade plan, I wasn't willing to create a checklist, I wasn't willing to define very specific rules, and then throw your hands up and go, I'm taking a break or I quit. That's fine. I'm all about taking a break, and that's there's no problem with that. But if you're frustrated because you're losing live money and you shouldn't be trading with live money, that's a different scenario. Right? You shouldn't be getting frustrated trading with paper money. Why? Because all it's costing you is a few bucks a month to run a platform like TradingView. Okay? TradingView is relatively inexpensive. Futures data on TradingView is relatively inexpensive. Okay? You should be taking advantage of that. There aren't too many jobs you get to practice at like you can at trading, right? You don't get to practice on open heart surgery like you get to practice on a live market in a simulated or paper account. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of investment. It's a matter of experience. Listen, if you handed me a scalpel and said, go ahead and cut somebody's heart out and tie a new one in and do open heart surgery, I wouldn't know where to start. And the reality is, the top doctor who's able to do that, the chief of heart transplant, is probably making comparable money to money you can make inside trading the stock market. Whether that's stocks, futures, forex, cryptocurrencies, whatever, options, whatever your approach is. But that is real comparable money that could be achieved from the comfort of your own home. You're in my home. The video, the content behind me in the camera is my home, right? This is not some furnished office. This is my house. The ability to work from home, potentially earn millions of dollars a year, is really unlike anything else out there in the world. If you're going to think for a single second that this is not going to be the hardest thing you will ever do, you're very mistaken. Because this will be the hardest thing you will ever do. But if you're willing to put the time in, if you're willing to put the effort in, if you're willing to paper trade, if you're willing to take out a notebook and a pen and paper and write down a trade plan, modify the trade plan. You're not even going to know what that trade plan needs to consist of until you've put 90 days or 120 days of trading a simulated account in the market and going, all right, when I've seen this now 3 or 4 times occur, I need to make note of it because when this happens, it needs to trigger this next thought process in my brain. I always tell people, when A happens, what is B and C for you? When X happens, what is Y and Z for you? And all the way through the alphabet, you can do that, right? And you're not going to know what A is until you experience. You're not going to know what X is until you experience. It just takes time. It just takes time. The problem is people are focused on the money and not on the process, right? My number one focus is preserving my trading capital. Why? So that I can trade again tomorrow. Perhaps the market offers me a better opportunity. My number one. But how did I get there? I spent a long time paper trading, reprogramming my brain to do this job specifically. And then when I step away from this job, right, and I go to my other businesses, I have to use the other side of my brain and go, okay, this is how I approach my business. Because my business and my trading business are two very different things. They require two very different mindsets, right? Because they require two very different skill sets. Trading is a business of probability. It's not going to be learned overnight, right? The top guys in this industry, and women are better traders than men, and I'll say it all day long, okay? Middle-aged women who have raised a family, have been married, and have carried a career are the best retail traders you will ever come across. They just are. From my experience working with thousands of people over the last however many years it's been already, the best traders, if I could classify the best traders, the most trainable traders are middle-aged women who have raised a family, been married, and carried a career. They're the best. Right? Why? Well, sit back and think about all the things that they've had to incur to get through all those things I just mentioned. Listen, I tell my wife all the time, she's a saint. Why? Because she puts up with me. I'm a pain in the ass. Right? But her level of patience is much higher than mine. Right? Raising a child, her level of patience is much higher than mine. Having a career, running a business, running my businesses, right? Her level of patience is much higher than mine. Right? I don't feel good. I'm on the couch under a blanket. My wife doesn't feel good. She gets up, she gets dressed, and she goes to work. It's different. It's just different. So when it comes to trading, I need to turn my mindset into there's no excuses, right? I'm patient. I have a plan. I have to take the best traits from the best traders and then employ them through myself. Did I love today's trading outcome? No. Look at the price action. It's awful. It's awful. I identified a few spots I liked. I got in. I took profits quickly. I advanced my stop. I got stopped out. Was it a huge day? No. But you know what? I didn't take any absorbent losses. And that's all that matters to me. At the end of the day, I don't want to take absorbent losses. I'll gladly take the stop outs. I just will. Right? But most traders who haven't gotten to that point yet, they just get frustrated. Right? Because they don't have the patience. They don't have the discipline. They move too quickly to live money with no trade plan, with no experience, and without proving themselves profitable. Listen, trading a simulated paper account is today, with today's technology, is pretty accurate. I mean, as long as you're trading live data, okay, you should get a real feel for whether you're able to do this or not. And if you're not able to do it, you should get a real feel for what it's going to take to be able to do it so you can work towards that. There's plenty of great books out there to read about psychology, about managing your emotions, things of that nature. Right? There's plenty of tools out there on the internet. I tell people, less is more. Right? When I come to my screen here, you don't see anything. It's just volume and price action. You can hide everything, hide it all. Like, that's all I need to trade with, these candlesticks, right? Now, I need volume because I use volume. Volume's meaningful to me. But when I turn it on, I have volume profile, I have volume on the bottom, and I have two VWAPs. If I hide my drawings, right? Hide drawings. That's what I come to the market with. I have volume profile and volume on the bottom. That's it. That's all I need. Right? I run two VWAPs. I prefer a 5-minute time frame. I prefer a 3-minute time frame. Sometimes I look at a 1-minute time frame. My reference chart is a 3-minute time frame. That chart has all my traditional indicators on it, right? To show me with great clarity, hey, the market's trending. Hey, the market's not trending. But for me, I want to just see the raw price action. Less is more. So if you haven't hammered out your trade plan, if you haven't practiced it, if you haven't created a checklist, if you haven't proven yourself profitable, being frustrated is something you've employed upon yourself. Okay? You shouldn't be trading live money until you are able to double a paper account. What does that mean? Go into TradingView. You can go to the trade panel on the bottom here. You click Paper Trade. Okay? Paper Trade, Brokerage Simulator by TradingView. You can go in there and adjust the balance of that account, that paper account, to however much money you plan to trade with. And then you can actively trade in a simulated mode with the exact amount of contracts you plan to trade with, whether they're regular contracts or micro contracts, right? And until you can take whatever that account was, say you're going to start with 20,000 and you're going to trade with one contract. Okay, because you got to leave room for drawdown in case you have a drawdown, which is normal. All right, every trader goes through drawdowns. You're going to say, all right, I'm depositing $20,000. I'm going to trade with one contract. When I can take that $20,000 account and make that account read $40,000, employing the trade plan that I wrote down, all right, with great discipline, then and only then should you ever consider moving to live money. I cannot emphasize this enough. Because those of you who are getting frustrated, those of you who are trying to fight price action that looks like this, you don't have the experience to fight price action that looks like this. You don't. And it's okay. But there's a way to gain experience without losing any money. And if you're not willing to do that, if you're not willing to help yourself, there's no coach, program, market analyst, guru on the internet that's going to be able to do it for you, right? I don't provide trades to my clients. I provide analysis, interpretation, and expectations. Those are the three things I provide. So that when they come to the market, and if their trade plan is met under the criteria of what is printing on their screen, okay, and I say, hey, listen, this may happen if this happens, and they decide, yes, this meets all my criteria, I feel the same way, I'm going to make a decision on my own, not based on Anthony's analysis, but I'm going to say, all right, listen, I only trade trending markets. Crude is not trending. So while Anthony does believe that crude's going to push towards these numbers right here, prior day high 81.50, liquidity 81.60, higher time frame 81.80, and potentially 82.40. While Anthony believes those things, the price action has not provided me the criteria to enter my trade. Then you don't trade. It's that simple. It's genuinely that simple. What did price do from this level? Well, this is the prior day high. This is 81.60, and we were one tick short of 81.80. Was my analysis, interpretation, and expectations correct? Yeah, for the most part. Was getting there pretty? No, this price action's awful. So unless you're a trader that feels like you can leave, if your plan tells you to leave a loose stop or try to buy the dip or whatever it may be, that's on you. But you have to hammer that out. And you have to be able to do the same thing over and over and over and over again. And if you can't, then there's no reason to be trading live money. Right? Go in here, trading panel, click on paper trading, adjust it, right? Set up your screen the way you plan to trade, whatever you want on your screen, you set it up however you want it. My answer, less is more. But you set it up however you want it. You write down the trade plan however you want it. Right? You create a checklist. If I can't check all these things, then I'm not going to place a trade. If A transpires, without thinking about it, I'm going to do B and C. If X transpires, I'm going to do Y and Z. Right? And everywhere in between. And until you do those things, you're not going to be a successful trader. I'm sorry. I'm only telling you from experience. Because this was hard for me. Because this was very different from everything I grew up learning in a Main Street business, small business. I had to completely change my approach, my entire thought process, to be able to sit back and go, this is totally different. I have to do everything, I have to have this totally different thought process in order to be successful at this. So guess what I did? Like an idiot, I started trading live money. And that idiot lost a lot of live money. And then that idiot said, hey, if I'm going to do this successfully, because I genuinely feel passionate about having the ability to work from anywhere in the world, from the comfort of my own home, to teach my wife how to do this, to teach my friends and family how to do this. I need to figure it out. Figuring it out took years, right? But once I lost real money, I realized, hey, I better not do that again, okay? Until I can figure it out, write it down in black and white, get my psychology right, and then apply it to the market. And there was a gap from when I started trading and lost money to when I went back to trading live money again. And that gap, truthfully, was several years. During the course of those several years, I did a lot of reading, I did a lot of studying, I did a lot of trade plan writing, I did a lot of R&D, I did a lot of different approaches, figuring out what I want, what I don't want, what's my approach to the market, what tools am I going to use, learning and understanding order flow, learning and understanding volume profile. It took me a lot of years to hammer out all those things that have become meaningful to me today in order for me to do the job that I do, not only as a market analyst for my clients, but as a trader for myself. So before you jump into trading, I hope you see this video. If you are trading and you're ready to step away from it, I hope you see this video. If you're somewhere along your path to becoming the trader that you desire to become, I hope you see this video. There will be very hard days, but hard days are more able to be developed into good days by training yourself, okay? I refer to golfing all the time, okay? A lot of people golf. I'm a golfer. I'm not a professional golfer by any means, right? So I compare myself to a professional golfer, right? That professional golfer has hundreds of thousands of swings, hundreds of thousands of different scenarios that they've experienced every time they play golf. And I'm the golfer that doesn't, okay? Well, let's reverse that into I'm the trader that has 13 years experience. I'm the trader that has created six-figure annual incomes. I'm the trader that has spent and invested years into learning this craft, okay? Just like those professional golfers have. And you're the trader, maybe, and I'm not directing this towards anyone personally or individually, but perhaps you're the trader that's going, I see these guys being able to do this, and then I don't understand why I can't. And the only difference between the professional golfer and the amateur golfer, or the professional trader and the amateur trader, is one thing: experience. Okay? Experience comes through time, effort, discipline. Right? How many golfers have lost their swing? It happens all the time. Right? They all have swing coaches. Why? Because they need to redefine their swing. You watch the US Open, any PGA Tour, any live golf event, you will see these guys take the same swing over and over and over again. Why? Because they've trained themselves to do that. Okay? Me, sometimes I hit the ball beautiful. Other times, I miss it altogether. Why? Because I don't have the experience they do. I can trade a less than desirable day, still pull out a little bit of money, get stopped out a couple times, and still not be upset about it, because at the end of the day, price action wasn't all that good anyway, because I have experience. But if most people traded today, they probably got their butt kicked, and now they're upset about it. Well, they're only upset about it because they lack experience. So, if this resonates with you in any way, I'm just encouraging you to build more experience, because that is the only thing that's going to help you grow as a trader. All right? I love you guys. God bless, and I will see you in the next video. And if I can help you in any way, my email address is below.